Hey guys, what's going on? Hope you're having a great day. Welcome back to Quality Cooking. Today I'm not actually going to be doing any cooking. I'm going to be showing you how to make healthy, delicious booch, aka kombucha. And I'm sure the majority of you, or all of you, have seen kombucha in the grocery stores. It's really skyrocketed in popularity the last 5 to 10 years, and that's mainly due to its numerous health benefits. It's super rich in probiotics, which is beneficial for your gut health. It's loaded with antioxidants, which helps fight diseases and cancers, and it's super delicious. I really love it because it's really tart. You could introduce a whole bunch of different flavors to it. I like putting fresh fruit, but more on that a bit later. So essentially you need 4 ingredients. You need water, sugar, tea, and a pellicle, aka a SCOBY. Again, I'm going to get more into the SCOBY in a little bit. So essentially what we want to do is create a sweet tea, cool it down, add the pellicle to it, and leave it for a week. That's essentially it. So there's 2 parts of the fermentation process. There's F1 and F2. F1 is making the tea, adding the pellicle, and letting it sit for 7 to 12 days. I find after 12 days it's getting a little bit too acidic, a little bit too vinegary, so I'm not too huge on that. And then the F2 is where you carbonate it and flavor it however you want. So today I'm going to be doing 1 gallon batch of kombucha. I find 2 gallons is quite a bit. I do drink a little bit every day, but I'm not drinking a shit ton. So I don't need 2 liters or 2 gallons worth rather. As you can see, I have quite a bit left over from the last batch that I did. So I don't really want to have as much waste next time. So for 1 gallon batch, you're going to need 14 cups of water, which is 3.5 liters. You need 1 cup of sugar and 8 tea bags. I like a mix of half black tea and half green tea. So let's make the tea already. Alright, so now the water's boiling. I'm going to add the sugar. You don't want to add it too early because if you're not stirring it early on, and the sugar can essentially stick to the bottom and burn, and then you got to start again. So I'm going to add the sugar, give it a whisk, and now I'm going to add 4 green tea and 4 English breakfast tea bags. So I'm going to keep it boiling for about a minute. I'll turn it off and I'll let this steep for about 5-ish minutes. Alright, that's been about 7 minutes. I'm going to take the tea bags out. I should probably mention, stick to using sterilized, super clean metal or plastic utensils. Try to refrain from using wood because it's quite porous and you can get some bacteria caught in the wood, which could introduce some harmful bacteria to the fermentation. So stick to metal and plastic. Alright, so tea's made. Now I'm just going to let it sit until it's perfectly cool because you don't want to add hot tea to a cold pellicle. So we got the tea nice and cooled. Next step is to strain out 2 cups of the original starter liquid. This is like very vinegary, very old kombucha. It's got a lot of beneficial culture and bacteria in it, which is going to prevent the new batch of tea from going off and molding and just going to the garbage. So 2 cups of tea to the 14 cups of new tea. And then what I'm going to do is take one of the pellicles out. I'm going to keep the top one, which is the newer one. The newer one always grows above the older pellicle. So yeah, let's do it. So that's what the new one looks like. Really weird. Almost looks alien. So I'm going to keep that. Put in the tea. This is the older one. You can see it's a bit thicker, looks a little dirtier, more yeasty. She's done its job, now time to get rid of it. So again, I'm gonna dump this out, give it a quick clean, and then get that new tea, new batch, newer pellicle back in here, and then yeah, I'll see you in a bit. So that's it for the first step. We got the new tea with the 2 cups of old starter liquid to prevent it from going moldy. Got the pellicle. Now I'm gonna take a reusable kitchen cloth with my elastic band, keep the bugs out, and then I'm gonna keep it in a cool, dark place. So I'm gonna keep it down in my basement for about 7 days. I like to write a little piece of tape on the date that I started it. I'm gonna check it after 1 week, give it a little taste, and then I'll just show you. See you in a week. All right guys, welcome back. I am 12 days in the future. I started tasting this first fermentation, the F1, after about 7 days. It was still a little bit too sweet. Tasted it after 8, 9, 10, 11. It progressively got a little bit better and better. Now, today on the 12th day I tasted it, it tastes perfect. It's not too sweet still. It's still a little bit sweet, but it's a little bit tart as well. That's what we're looking for. The more tart it is, the better it is for you, the more nutritional benefits it'll have. I have left it for a couple weeks or even more one time, and it tasted like vinegar. Wasn't a big fan. So if you guys are gonna start brewing kombucha, I really recommend getting one of these mason jars. I think it's a 2 gallon. Yeah, we'll go with 2 gallon. One with a little spigot on the bottom. Makes it really easy to taste it while you're fermenting it. So you don't have to stick like a clean ladle, worrying about it being super clean. Just, yeah, it makes your life a whole lot easier. So now that F1 is done, we could get on to the F2, fermentation 2. That's where we introduce any kind of flavorings we want. You could use any sort of fruit you like, depending on the season. Today I'm going to be showing you three of my favorites. Lemon ginger is the first one. Blueberry ginger, second one. You can omit the ginger if you'd like, but blueberry is always nice. It makes it go a really nice color. And the third one, we're going to do a peach and mint kombucha. So I'll show you how to get that done now. The blueberry and peach one takes a little bit longer than the straightforward lemon and ginger. So let's get to it. All right, so here we got the blueberry prep. I have half a cup of fresh blueberries. They're super, super tasty right now. 1 tablespoon of white sugar, about a tablespoon's worth of grated ginger, and 1 cup of water. So I'm gonna get that all into a pot. What we're gonna do is cook this down, kind of make like a compote, not kind of a compote. And then this will go in the bottom of the jars. All right, so now I'm gonna take this over to the stove, bring it to a boil, turn it down to a simmer, and simmer it for about 10 minutes roughly until it goes back to a half cup worth of blueberry mix. All right, so for the peach, we might as well do it the same time we get the blueberries, because same kind of process. We're gonna put everything in the pot, reduce it, and then eventually chill it, and then add it to our bottles before the kombucha. So I got 1 peach. Thought it was gonna take 1.5, but just 1 medium-sized peach. Peel it and dice it. So that goes in there. Half cup of peach, 1 tablespoon of sugar, and again 1 cup of water. I will add the mint a bit later on. If I add it now, it'll make it all brown and it'll lose all of its bright, nice flavor. So I'm gonna get that on the heat. All right, so you can see after about 10 minutes, it's reduced down quite a bit. And it's got a nice little puree here. Just gonna smash the blueberries a little bit. I'm just going to transfer it to a bowl and let it cool in the fridge. So for the peach, I'm going to do the same thing. Just kind of smash up the peaches a bit. It won't get quite as smooth as the blueberries, but we can get it pretty good. And again, reduce that till it's about at a half. Put it in a bowl and then chill it. So now I'm just going to take the mint I got from the garden. It's nice spearmint. Take it off the stems. And just give it a really rough chop. Again, kind of just roll it together. That's about it. So we're just going to add it to the peach mix, give it a little stir. It'll kind of wake up the mint a bit with that heat. And then I'm gonna pop that in the fridge and then let it cool, and then we could start to bottle. All right, so for the bottles, I'm gonna be using these small little 250 ml, aka 1 cup, little snap bottles. I find they do really, really well for trapping the carbonation inside. I like the size of them because I could just take one to work or throw it in a backpack wherever. Feel free to use like a 1 liter or a 500 ml, same style bottle. Just make sure to double or quadruple the recipe. All right, so by far the easiest one we're gonna be doing is the lemon ginger. So I'm gonna use these front 4 bottles here. I just got about roughly a tablespoon and a half of microplane ginger. So I'm gonna just split that into the 4 bottles. Again, make sure your hands are super, super clean and your utensils so you don't introduce any sort of weird bacteria. But lemon juice, you're looking at like 1.5 tablespoons roughly. So for 4, almost 100 mils. So for the sugar, again, we're adding sugar to kickstart that yeast fermentation again. So just a little bit. All you need is about a quarter teaspoon. Just a sprinkle. All right, now let's do the same thing for the blueberry compote. It's gonna be tough without a funnel. I thought I had one, but I can't find it anywhere. Just grab a small spoon. Could always clean the lip later. All right, and that's that. If you have any left, eat it. All right, guys, now let's repeat the same process for the peach and mint. All right, now we got all the flavors in the bottles. I'm gonna start to strain my kombucha. So I got a nice clean bowl or pot with a nice clean strainer, fine size strainer. I'm gonna give you the first look of the SCOBY up close. So what happens every batch we make, a new one forms. Oops, kinda broke it. Kinda looks like a jellyfish from fucking bottom of the sea. So I'm gonna set that aside. Might keep that one, not sure, I might keep the older one. And that is the mother SCOBY. Don't be off-put by all these dirty, weird strands. That's just the yeast forming. It's actually beneficial, so don't actually wash any of that off. So I'm just gonna set that aside. And then in the fine strainer, I'm just gonna start chucking it in. And remember, make sure to leave enough for the next starter liquid. So I used 2 cups last time. Make sure you leave at least 2 cups. I'm actually not gonna make a batch today. I gotta run out tonight, so I don't have time, but I'm gonna leave enough in here that I could put the SCOBY back in. All right, so now I'm just gonna pour it into my little measuring cup with a little spout. It'll make it a lot easier. So when you're filling it, make sure you leave about a 1/2 inch from the top, just to allow for the carbonation and bubbles to expand a bit. Just about there. So yeah, that's all the bottles filled up. I'm gonna just put the cap on, make sure they're nice and sturdy, and give them a light shake just to redistribute the sugar throughout the kombucha tea. And then I'm gonna put them back downstairs, and any dark room will do really. And I'm gonna leave them for 2 to 5 days roughly. I feel like the blueberry and the peach will only need 2 or 3 days. The lemon ginger might need a little bit more because there's quite a bit more sugar via the fruit in these two. So yeah, I'll see you in 2 to 5 days for the popping. Woo, it's already got some. Fucking A. Alright guys, it's been 6 days now since I bottled the flavored kombucha. Got the peach and mint, blueberry ginger, and the lemon ginger. I remember saying it was gonna take about 3 to 5 days, but I was checking it and I didn't really see the carbonation that I was really looking for. So I just left it alone. And after 6 days now, they're quite bubbly, as you can see. And I think it's ready to open and taste. Now, one of the things that might have kept it from carbonating within the 3 to 5 days like I was planning was I might not have stirred up the kombucha quite enough. You really want to incorporate that into the mix and get all that yeast into the bottles, because yeast plus sugar equals fermentation, aka carbonation. So yeah, very important. Make sure you stir it up before you start bottling. Now to drink it, you could pop in the fridge. I haven't put these in the fridge yet. I do prefer them cold, but I just can't wait any longer. So you can drink it straight out of the bottle, or you can strain it. I prefer straining it because you'll see near the top, they form almost a new mini SCOBY, the size of the bottleneck, and I don't really want to drink that. I don't think anybody wants to drink that. So I prefer to strain it personally. All the flavor has been infused, so you're really not missing anything. So yeah, let's get opening. Another lemon ginger. And finally the peach and mint. Woo! Oh, woo! Might want to open that over the sink. All right, now it's time to taste. Been looking forward to this for a couple weeks now. This is a lemon ginger. It's by far my favorite, always. The blueberry ginger. Might have taken a little bit more ginger in that one. Blueberry is pretty strong, but still really nice. That's the peach and mint. Just enough mint. It's really, really potent. That ripe in-season peach is coming through pretty strongly. It's really delicious. So that's it for this video, guys. I really hope you give it a try. It's super delicious, really healthy drink. I think everybody should be drinking at least a little bit of this a few times a week. If there's anything I left out, you have any questions, leave them down below. I'll go right back to you on them. So yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Have fun in the kitchen.